Oh, a little vlog is it? Yeah. I have had a change of heart in terms of creative direction and philosophy. This sort of new focus happened in late October. I planned to talk about it in PMS and then life went wrong. PMS ended and I didn't tell anyone that I've sort of changed things. So let's do that now. Actually, not telling anyone is kind of a little bit part of it. We'll get onto it. We all know I tried to do video every day October and failed. I made a video about it. But one of the most helpful parts of that experience was remembering that failure doesn't equal the end. That failure isn't a weakness. Like my friends basically said, don't worry about not being able to complete something, at least you tried it. And I went and listened to J.K. Rowling's Harvard commencement speech, which you can buy in book form. I currently have it up there on my shelf in between Ali Smith and Dodie, Secrets of the Mad, which has 2 incredible recipes written by some very talented food writer. These books, by the way, available from all good Waterstones. Buy them from Waterstones. I'm gonna paraphrase. No, I won't paraphrase you. I'll get the books right there. It's just being lazy. It is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. She knows, she knows. You kind of think, especially in a world where things are turned over at such ferocity, velocity, we got there. And in sheer volume as well, like the amount of television hours. Like it used to be that, oh, did you watch Lost last week and Desperate Housewives? Yeah, those were the 2 sort of big shows. And now there are like 19 big shows, and if you haven't seen one, you're out of the loop, and then before you know it, you try and catch up, but there are 9 new shows, and you're like, well, what? Not to speak of online content, where everyone with a camera can shove something up. When stuff is made with that frequency by that many people, it sort of lets you forget about things like process. So I'm also reading, it's over there, Stephen King on writing. It's a really good book and I recommend you read it even if you don't want to be a writer. There's something about reading people's processes that's really illuminating. It helps you shine a light on yourself and go, well, how can I apply that to me? So like he's talking about write what you know, but actually how the words what you know can be incredibly broad. And reading about his discipline and the practices he applies to himself, that can inspire you to find your own practices. So people who don't want to write have recommended this book. Incidentally, I want to write. So rather than being crushed by not being able to do October, taking some time out allowed me to refocus, and then I did Collabmas, which I had a lot of fun with. It wasn't the most high octane content, but I wanted to finish the year proving to myself that I can make videos, I can entertain people, and I'm good at this. I can do it. If I put my mind to something, I can do it. Which brings me to my new philosophy. My new philosophy takes in where I'm at as a person, where I'm at as a creator, the kind of content I create, and how I want people to respond to it, or rather, specifically, how to craft the desired response in people. I'm saying this not to repeat myself, although I'm a little bit aware that I kind of might be, but also because I want to follow up on having been at a point where I was down, and now at a point where I'm feeling pretty good about it. Put a bit of positivity into the world, you know? Put a bit of paper on it. Very specific reference. The mission statement is kind of threefold. It's like, don't upload for the sake of it, give people what they don't know they want, and embrace that I want to do a lot of different things. And they all kind of intertwine and shape the way I look at myself. There is a 4th part of the philosophy, which is do, don't tell. Like, just do some stuff and bam, put it out there. But I didn't really want to say it because I was aware that this video is kind of going against that part of the philosophy. I'm judging myself, don't worry about it. I had to have a sit down and think about what I wanted from life and what I wanted from my work and kind of the person I wanted to be. And the basic truth of it is I want to make people feel stuff. Ever since I was a kid, the biggest rush I ever got was standing on a stage and hearing an audience laugh at something that I said, or seeing my friends cry when I finished a song in a musical, knowing that my performance had made someone feel something. There's nothing like it, and so I needed to rethink how I apply that to myself in 2018. And that is what's driving me, the idea that I want people to feel stuff. And also I want people to feel like if they see my name attached to something, that's a mark of quality. If I write a book or release music, or if I do a live show, I want you to buy a ticket knowing that you can trust me to have tried really hard to put a good show together. If you pick up a copy of my book one day, you don't have to like it, but I want you to read it knowing that I've given it everything, that I haven't just sort of phoned it in and just shoved something out there for the sake of it. Which, before anyone goes there, is not shade to anyone. That's not my style anymore. Much. When you take in work, when you take in and consume art, you give part of yourself to it, you give your time to it, you give your energy to it. And the most important thing for me is that you feel that that energy and that time and that commitment was worth it, even if the art isn't fully to your taste. Like, I'm fully aware that as I progress in my career, I'm gonna make some things that people aren't gonna enjoy. If I'm lucky enough to be in some films, you're very welcome to go and see them and think that the film was bad, but I want you to leave going, that was good, he really tried there. Basically, I wanna create a world where you see my name and you know that it is a mark of quality, of effort, and I think most importantly of truth. As wanky as that sounds, That's what we're here for. So you might not see me upload weekly. You might see me upload once or twice a month. And then a couple of months later, I'll come back with like 7 videos that make you go, pow, what the fuck? Just in case you missed that, that was pow, what the fuck? Pow, what the fuck? Mark Kermode. And when I've managed to achieve that, I can start making stuff that you might not expect. Like, so my favorite comments I get on videos are when people say, I didn't know I needed this until now. Because we all think we want a specific something, but then something comes along and we're surprised by it and it's even better. I want to keep that element of surprise, which probably comes from being a wrestling fan where anything can happen in the WWF. Anything can happen, I hope. Basically what I'm saying is I think this could be a bit of a wild ride, and if you're down, then let's have some fun and see what we make along the way. Is that it? Is that my... Share in the comments your new philosophy.